Hi, this is the English guy in Mexico. It is the 5th of March 2016 and I wanted to talk today about these trees. What I've been doing is planting saplings, all fruit trees, a mixture of cherry and pears, apples, I think I've got some guavas out there. And I'm trying 3 different ways of actually planting them. Now what they normally say is obviously you need to dig as big a hole as you can realistically manage, at least twice the size of the root ball and at least twice the width. Well, in this type of soil, I don't know if anybody else has seen my videos, just look at my soil here. I'm actually amending the side of this path, and once you are, if you look on the side of the hole, once you're down, there's a little bit of darkness on that hole there where there's a little bit of topsoil, but most of this, there's just no topsoil at all. In fact, if you can see there, a tiny little root system with some Bermuda, and after that you're into this white calcite, calcium carbonate type stuff. So what I do with my trees, I take out a lot more than the recommended. So what I do is I get a 5-gallon bucket, obviously the blue one over there, it'll be about 5 gallons, and I try to take out at least the full circumference of the 5 gallons and at least twice the depth. So I figure I'm probably doing, at least for a small sapling like this one, probably at least 7 or 8 root masses or root balls in terms of space. Then what I do with that soil, I discard that. In fact, what I've been doing here, you'll notice, is building up the sides of the bank. There's quite a high step up onto the back of these buildings here, so I've been making a ledge. I don't really want anything to grow next to the building there, so I just use this white calcium carbonate as the ledge, and it will pack down over time. Then what I do is I go out onto the fields, I go under the big trees in the distance. This is all my land here, I've got about 10 acres. And if you go under these trees, you'll normally find that the soil is pretty good, even though there's not a lot growing over there. But all the twigs have dropped down over the years, the leaves have fallen off over the years, and the soil is actually quite crumbly, friable. And I scrape it up with a we've got something happening here. I don't know if you can, masses of birds. I don't know if you can see them all. A little swarm of birds has just come in. They're obviously looking for insects of some kind. Okay, what I do is I scrape it up into mounds with just with a normal rake. Try not to obviously bring any grass from over there. It's very poor grass. I don't want it in the bottoms of the holes. So I bring at least one 5-gallon bucket full of the brown black type soil. That goes into the bottom of the hole. Then I replace the tiny bit of topsoil that I took out, and then what I do is I get some manure. I've got loads of animal manure which I collect in these buckets if anybody wants to watch my videos. So it's like a black liquid that goes in the hole. Occasionally I'll put old jumpers, underpants, socks, anything that can sit right in the very bottom of the hole, that'll soak up water. The end of the boots, the wooden bits off the end of these palm trees where I cut the branches off, the boots, I use those because they're quite porous, and build the soil back up. Now the reason I'm doing this video is also because I'm trying 3 different ways of actually planting the tree. One of the ways is just normal. You just get the crown of the root ball. There's a few little buds coming on this one. Get that roughly level with the surface. I like a little bit of a depression so that when I'm putting water onto the soil it can stay fairly close to the tree, and or it'll collect rainwater. Another way I've been doing it, I've been using buckets, old broken buckets. I've got a couple of metal ones, there's another metal one over there, and there's a broken plastic one, and I put it around the actual sort of stem of the tree. Now the reason I'm doing it, I'm trying to keep the sun off the tree. Now when they're a bit older, you can actually, or a bit bigger rather, you can actually paint them with a white substance that reflects the heat off the tree, and it allows the moisture to get up to the root, to the little buds. If you don't do that, unfortunately the water struggles to get up the stem. It's just too thin. So that's my second experiment. So I'm experimenting with these two. Strangely enough, the one without anything has actually got some buds on it, but I suggest that's possibly because we're only in March. The temperatures haven't really sort of got up and above 100 yet, which it will do by the time we get to April and May. Now the third way of doing it, I found some old discarded sewer pipe laying over by the garage, and what I've done, when I excavated the hole, I propped the sewer pipe up, and that sewer pipe goes right to the very bottom of the hole. It's not actually the root ball of the sapling will be a bit higher than that, so I'm not going to flood it. But what I do, instead of watering around the base of the tree, in this case with that one, and I've done a couple more like this as an experiment, what I do is just water that hole there. That pipe will probably take at least 5 gallons, maybe 6 gallons of water. I did this one yesterday, and the first 6 gallons went down in about 3 or 4 minutes, and then I actually topped it up with about another one, or another half of one. So I put about 7-8 gallons in that hole yesterday. So I've got 3 different experiments going on, and on the far side now the new shade cloth is up, kind of a 4th experiment, because one row of the fruit trees is getting 3 hours of shade per day instead of getting the full 10 hours. The sun gets round here about 10 o'clock in the morning. It rises up in the east above these buildings, so 10 o'clock it starts getting a bit toasty round here. By midday it's literally, well, you could fry an egg on the pavements here. But this row of trees down the middle here, this one's getting 3 hours respite out of the 10. So it's kind of 4 different experiments, and I'm going to see which trees do better, and hopefully I'll get back to the YouTubers and let you know. Okay, thanks very much. This is the English guy in Mexico saying bye for now.